Hey there, I'm Jeff with CreditCards.com. Today we're going over credit cards for people with bad credit, or if you're sort of in the rebuilding phase. So in other words, if you have a FICO score, a credit score of below a 580. And in general, there are two different types of cards for people in this situation. There are secured credit cards and rebuilding credit cards. A secured credit card is one that requires a refundable deposit up front. It's not as scary or as complicated as it sounds, but usually there's a refundable deposit and your credit limit for the card is the same as that refundable deposit. And then for rebuilding cards, those will have a slightly higher annual fee and basically no rewards. But in general, they do not require a deposit up front. We have more information about both types of cards on our website. If you're watching on YouTube, I can link more information for you in the description. If you're on our website, you can just search for it. We have a full guide about just the best credit cards for people with bad credit. For now, though, I want to cover a few of the things you want to make note of when you're looking for a credit card if you have bad credit or if you're in the rebuilding phase. For starters, you want to be very aware of your credit limit. If you hit your credit limit regularly or you try to exceed it, there could be negative consequences. You might have your account shut down, or it might negatively affect your credit score. In fact, there's a major component of your credit score, of your FICO score, that's called credit utilization. And this refers to how much credit you're using divided by how much credit you have access to. So if you only have one credit card, it is your current balance for the card divided by your credit limit. So you can see that just mathematically, it makes sense to have a higher credit limit because that can drive down your credit card utilization rate. And the lower the utilization rate, generally the better, because a higher score or a higher utilization rate signals risk to lenders because you're getting near your credit limit or possibly even trying to exceed it. So for the most part, you want to keep that utilization rate low, below about 25 to 30%. Also with these credit cards for people with bad credit or that are in the rebuilding phase, you want to inquire about having the option to be considered for a credit limit increase after a couple of months. I think it's usually about 6 months or 6 on-time payments. You want to see if you can get a credit limit increase because again, mathematically, increasing your credit limit not only signals to people that you're less risky, but should drive down your utilization rate. So that's something to pay attention to when you're looking for a credit card if you're in the situation we already described. Another thing to look for is free credit monitoring services. So a lot of credit card companies now will offer free credit monitoring. In fact, we have a full guide about this on our website. If you're watching on YouTube, I'll link that in the description. You can find it elsewhere on our website if you're on our website. But a lot of card issuers will offer some sort of way to keep an eye on your credit score. It's not always exactly what a lender will see, but it can give you a good sense for what somebody else is looking at. Again, it's not exact, but that way you can see that you're trending hopefully in the right direction. So you want to check to see if they offer free credit monitoring. If they don't, there are some services out there that are either attached to issuers or not attached to issuers, and they do offer free credit monitoring. And again, we have more information about that on our website. In addition to all of that, you want to have a clear idea of the interest rate for your credit card, otherwise known as your APR, your annual percentage rate. There's not much that you can do with the number. I think it's just nice to be mindful of the fact that, for example, your APR might be 22%. If you're well aware of that, it can help you to keep disciplined. And so, carrying a balance on that credit card could be really, really expensive, and you want to be mindful of that APR. That said, remember your APR could be negotiable. So you can actually call up your credit card issuer or your bank and see if they can reduce your APR. They won't always give it to you, but in some circumstances, you can actually negotiate your APR down. Now, before you go out and apply for a new credit card, there are two things you want to make sure you do. One is get a new copy of your credit report, and then also check your credit score. So getting your credit report is really easy. You go to annualcreditreport.com. That is the only site that's authorized by federal law. You can get one free copy per year from each of the major credit bureaus. So one from TransUnion, one from Equifax, and one from Experian per year. And you just want to make sure everything's kosher on your credit report because that information feeds into your credit score. So my wife, as an example, we looked at one of her credit reports and we noticed, oh, there's a bill in collections. This is weird. It was like a $9 bill, but it had showed up on her credit report and obviously it was negatively impacting her credit score. And so we got it cleared up. It wasn't an issue. In fact, I believe it was actually an error. But in any case, we checked our credit report, we got it cleared up, and you want to make sure that you do the same before you apply for a new credit card. Also, you want to get a good idea of your credit score to make sure that you do have bad credit. You might surprise yourself and you're above a 580, in which case you might apply for a different type of credit card. So check your credit score as well. Lots of free credit monitoring services out there, like I mentioned before, and I'll have more information in the text below the video screen for that. But that's about it for the video. Hopefully you found it helpful and insightful. If you're watching on YouTube, hopefully we earned your thumbs up. And if you're on our website, there are a lot more resources you can peruse. Have a great day.